Hello, Facebook world. Here we are again with another episode of Table Talk with Roland. Again, just to remind you what this is all about. It's all about health and fitness. And what we're trying to cover is everything that encompasses your journey, your fitness journey, whether it's doctor, whether it's a nutritionist, whether it's a food preparer, whether it's a trainer, gym owner, all of that stuff. That's the information that we're going to be bringing to you. And today mark a significant day because I've been knowing this person for quite a while, and we developed a pretty good relationship. And the person I'm talking about is none other than Mr. Robert McAdory. Robert,
how you doing, sir?
We appreciate you taking time out to come and just sit at the table and talk for a minute. We're going to talk about your journey. I know you are a promoter and all of that good stuff, and we'll get to that. But this year you chose to do something that you hadn't done in a while, and that taking that leap back to getting on the stage. And you've already done one show, and I'll let you talk about that. But you're getting ready for another show,
right?
And we just want to see how things are going.
Well, first of all, I'll say thanks for having me on the show.
Yes, sir.
This is a great format, and I hope you continue to reach other people. My journey back to the stage is an interesting one. It's a COVID-19 gift.
Yes,
it's one that kind of saved my life, really, because once you get going the opposite direction, sometimes things spiral out of the way. So you just kind of trying to regather yourself, and it kind of hit at the right time. I just started walking, around the neighborhood or whatever, start putting little TikTok commercials together, which in the front yard, which they're about to be banned, I think. And so it just had my wife and I just kind of grew from there. We just started eating clean again, and we're right back at it. I'm right back home where I belong, and I don't miss it. I love it. Yeah. And so the journey was a long journey. Went from nearly 250 pounds down to we're about 194 now. So that was in December of last year. So just got closer, and the more they quarantined us, the more intense I got. Wow. And so in terms of me competing again, it's simple. I just wanted to make a connection with the new upcoming breed of competitors, and I wanted to have more of a modern experience, if you will, what's going on. Because when I came up, we had to allow other people or have other people help us tan. We had to do a lot of things ourselves, and it's totally different now. And so, I wanted to be able to experience those things and relate to the competitors. Sometimes I felt like, with me, there was a disconnect. Sometimes not going through what they're going through or whatever. They say, oh man, you don't understand, this and that. So, in order to perfect your craft, you have to immerse yourself into what you're doing. So, I said, why not? I had some things on the table that I need to complete. I think in bodybuilding, you're never done. Yeah. We always want to, it's an ageless thing, really. Right. And if you got the time, you can do it. Everybody's got the same 24. And so, one thing led to another, and we got close. I think I was on the Weight Watchers diet for a while. I think I did about 3 meals and a shake a day. Wow. We had to qualify to do what's coming up next. So, but that was tough because it's just having a structure. And the hardest thing is everybody has the same 24, but the hardest thing is getting everything organized in order. I just lost the idea of having to be that strict and organized, and that was the hardest time was trying to find a higher ground every day to try to get back to some in bodybuilding normalcy there. Correct. That's hard.
You said something that was pretty interesting a little earlier. You and I were very close, but I didn't even know he was getting ready for a show. Okay, I'm still mad at him about that. But I saw where Michelle, your wife, looked like it started out as a challenge. You talked about this COVID-19 when all of us was locked out of gyms and all of that stuff. And I began to see on Facebook where she had you outside doing that. Tell me about that when you didn't have a gym. What was you and Michelle? So you had people doing it with you. Talk about that for a second.
You know, we're personal trainers. That's our trade. That's what we do, and that's what we've done all our lives. And so, you know, we said if we really want to make an impact, we have to be uncommon in a common world in order to accomplish and help other people. And it doesn't make any sense for us. Sometimes you have to step out and lead by example. And so the whole thing was to give people a little comedy at that point for me. But then my wife is the master manipulator, right? Mm-hmm. And so she started talking about doing shows and stuff like that. Hey man, you had a pretty good body back then. She just started putting them on social media. She started putting in, people started saying, hey, are you getting ready for a show or whatever? And you know, so it just kind of bled over, and it turned into this. And like I said, I feel like I'm back part of the gang again, and it never felt better. And and I think one of the things that happened to me was you got normalized, and you got comfortable with it, which is the worst thing that can happen, I think, in my opinion, to anybody, is to get that comfortable to where you're not taking care of yourself. If you can't take care of yourself, you can't be healthy, and you can't take care of other people as well. So that's one of the worst things. You're not hungry anymore, and I wasn't hungry, so I wanted to get hungry again.
Gotcha.
I want to eat.
Gotcha. And the thing that I want people to take home from this part of it, is that if you want it bad enough, you can do it. You don't need equipment all the time in order to have a decent workout, but equipment does help, especially in the realm of getting ready for stage. But there are so many of you out there that still did your training, even though you was locked out of gyms and all of that stuff. And we saw you on Facebook, we saw you on TikTok and all that. And later on, we saw them on stage.
That's right.
Stage. So again, the mind is a powerful, powerful thing. And like you said, if you put your mind to it, then you can make it happen. And then it just goes from there. So tell me about, you got a significant event coming up in October.
Well, let me just go back. I think if you're bodybuilding, I think we overcome obstacles all the time.
True.
And so, my hat's off. I was motivated through what everybody else was doing. Mm-hmm. I have enough support system around me to learn from everybody else, from yourself to our state chairman, Mr. Pruitt. You guys push me because y'all lead by example. Mm-hmm. And I say, well, why not me? If they can do it, I can do it. Yeah. But that's good. We won't talk about it. You guys walk and you lead by example. And so that was one of my determining things about getting back into it too. And it led to a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. That brought up another point. I've been meaning to ask you this ever since you got back on stage in Tupelo, Mississippi.
Tupelo, Mississippi.
Okay. What did it feel like after 10 years hiatus and you found your way back on that stage? What did that feel like?
It felt wonderful, but I never, because you're in your own little world. You didn't know how many people with this new age of social media, the receptance that I got from just the competitors was just amazing. Wow. Just people would just walk up to me and just, hey, let me shake your hand. Hey, appreciate what you're doing for the sport. Hey, man, you motivated me to do this or that. When somebody tells you, I had a guy in high school call, he said, man, I hadn't worked out in 20 years, but just watching what you were doing, I had to tell somebody. And I said, look, let me stop separating what brought me up in life. It's bodybuilding. And we're all bodybuilders to some degree of significance. I don't care how you want to label it. We're building something, so we're bodybuilders. And so I said, well, let me try to stop doing what the regular world's doing. Let me promote what I really do is bodybuilding. So everybody, if you can't do it, they like to look at it. And so if I'm able to propel that person, hey, to try to do a little bit more, I've done great in terms of inspiring people and moving them forward. And so when people come to you and say, hey, I wouldn't have done that without you. And so that was the biggest thing is my heart was just overflowed with joy, really. Just meeting the new competitors backstage, some of the younger guys, and it wasn't a matter of me placing. It's never about, I had, to me, just getting back to where I was, First off, you asked how I felt. From looking at the other competitors, I felt really, really out of shape. That's how I really felt. And the way I feel now is totally two different worlds.
Right.
But, just the commune and fellowship with other people within our community of bodybuilding, that was the bigger picture for me, and that's what felt really good, and there was an experience that I hadn't had in a long time.
You brought up another point, a while ago where we had our state chairman on here, Mr. Mark Pruitt, and he was talking about, and we was talking about how the NPC is one big happy family, and just hearing you saying what you're saying now just echoes that, because you competed, you became a judge, and you judged this thing for quite a while, and now you're back on stage again. And the thing that you're saying that happened backstage is that family warmth that you feel. And that's why I wanted people to know that the NPC is one big happy family. It's not about, it's not those things that you think that, a bunch of knucklehead, arrogant people. They're not. They are one big happy family. And the people that you meet on stage, you don't, especially on the amateur side, you never forget them. Right. I recall when I was coming up through the ranks before I turned pro. The
peanut butter?
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, I made so many friends at that level. Right. And a lot of those people I still have contact with. They're in my phone. That's at the amateur level. But then when I made pro, I think I might have 2 pros in my phone.
Wow.
My point is that during this phase, you meet family members. And these are family members for life, because these are people that share the pain, the agony, the things that you go through in order to be on stage. And just hearing you saying that all over again just echoes that, the NPC is a great, great organization to be in. And you should cherish it, especially at the amateur level. And here you are, again, you got your show that's about to happen, and then you also going up to compete at the Masters. So tell us about that.
Well, getting back to what you were saying about the NPC, it is a great organization. It's a great time for people to compete in NPC.
Yes.
And I'm just proud of it, because we have something for everybody.
Right.
It's not just what you think it's just bodybuilding. We have a little bit for everybody. So if you, for me, it's like giving back.
Right.
And I have so many people to thank, and really, who am I to quit on bodybuilding, really? Because I have so many people to thank. I have so many people that gave me the opportunity. So what I want to do is continue to give back to the sport in any way I can, bodybuilding, because like I said, if it had not been people believing in me, then where would I be?
Right,
It hadn't not been for Mr. Pruitt giving me the opportunity. Where would I be? Where would this thing be? So you never know what kind of friends that you will accrue over time in life, and these your friends forever. And so it just one thing leads to another. And we do have, with that being said, we do have the NPC Rocket City Bodybuilding Classic coming up on October 10th in Decatur, Alabama. And I just want to say, I'm just proud, man. I'm proud of everybody that's competed in all the shows that they could, because it has just been a challenging time.
Yes.
We lost a lot of people, and we're not going to get political on this thing, but we lost a lot of people, and just the bodybuilders finding a way to do it. And that's what I'm, happy to be proud. I'm proud to call NPC my family, because the way we found a way to do this thing, and the avenues that we took. We even know if we're going to have shows or not.
I recall you had this October 10th was not your original date, was it?
No. Usually our show's in April. And so you and I talk a lot, and you were my rock really during that time, because you were thinking, hey man, what are we gonna do? I mean, we got to cancel or whatever, and it was like, man, you always need a support system or listening ear or whatever. It's like, well, we're talking about, man, we can find a way. We need to give these competitors a platform. It's not about us.
Right.
It's about them. And if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be where we are either.
Exactly.
So it's not all about what we've done and what we accomplished. The legacy of the NPC and the legacy of what we've done in the past must give back. So all that's been part of my reasoning for trying to connect again, because we have to bring the younger people that's interested. And I mean, you know, hey, like I said, something for everybody. We have masters.
Yes.
If you're thinking about doing it, now's a great time to do it, because we're trying to get a group of people that can help you. If we don't know, we'll put you in front of somebody that might know, you know. So it's a good time for everybody. But yeah, I mean, it's done a number on us, and I'm just proud of everybody. And October 10th is going to be one for the ages for me. Just, you know, we made it. I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, it's just to get to that point to where, hey man, October 10th is here, and we put it on. But the challenging part of that is, you know, I'm actually prepping for the NPC Masters Nationals. That was rescheduled to October 12th through the 17th. And so after that, I have to get on a plane and hit Orlando right after that. So, you know, that's going to be a challenge. And, you know, just kind of keep, you were saying you didn't know you were mad at me, you were doing a show, because I look at life, hey man, I'm not going to ride on the coattails of anybody. What difference does it make if I'm doing a show? It's like when you're at work, your people came back. I had a lady curse me out for something that was a misunderstanding. And then she came back and apologized. She said, I didn't know you was getting ready for a show or whatever. I'm like, well, what difference does that make if I was getting ready for a show? You keep your love and thing that's near and dear to your heart, and you go out rolling and you try to execute.
Yes. And you know, we have a great support system. We got Mr. Jim Mannion, Mr. Tyler Mannion, that allowed us to do what we need to do to put these shows on. And we appreciate them so much. But, you know, again, leadership triples down, as we know, you know, down to Mr. Pruitt, our state chairman, down to us as NPC judges, and now as competitors. You know, it's just a great time to show people that regardless of the circumstances, and yeah, we understand the pandemic and all of that stuff, you put your mind to it.
That's what you
we
said.
Can make it happen.
That's right. That was your whole message to me or whatever. Robert, I remember I had a conversation, man, if we can find a way to do it, we need to do it. And you know, I had given up. I was like, it ain't gonna happen, man. Just forget it. Man, you would call back and say, hey man, you can find a different date, try to do it, whatever. And it turns out that's what we needed to do, even though I don't look at it as being a down year. I look at it as an opportunity for us to get out and show the world who we are, and an opportunity for us to bond together and connect. So I look at COVID as it's probably a curse for some, but it's a blessing too, because it's allowing us to hunker down on what's most important. And it's allowed me the opportunity to get closer to family and friends and find out who I am. And just kind of, you are who you are, and that's what bodybuilding is.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And again, the discipline that it takes to even do what we do is something else. You know, it constantly reminds me, you know, I'm retired military, and I had a sergeant major that would have a fit if you came in his office and said, Sergeant Major, I have a problem. And he'll chase you out of there and say, no, you don't have a problem, young man. You have a challenge. So you make it happen. And that's stuck with me over the years and years and years. And that's what this year's been about. You know, we don't have a problem. We have a challenge. And that challenge is, how do we continue to live our life to the best of our ability during this pandemic thing? And up to this point, I think we've done pretty good. You know, have we lost some people? Not trying to get political. Yes, and that's never a good thing. But we make our adjustments, and life goes on. But again, here we are, you know, you about to step on stage. And I don't envy you. But I am here to support you because I know what you're going through. You're about to put on a show. 3 or 4 days later, you on a plane headed to Orlando, which means you're dieting while you're trying to promote this show. And speaking from a promoter's standpoint, that's a hard thing to do. So my hat's off to you. Well, you know, I'm bald, but my hat's off to you, Robert. And you know, we wish you all the best of luck, and I'm sure you're gonna make it the best of it. I'll tell you now, when I saw you August the 10th, 15th, somewhere along there.
Tupelo, 15th.
Yeah, on stage in Tupelo, and I was actually judging I can see right now you look totally different.
Right.
So I'm sure.
Man, I was just happy to get a medal. I was my whole thing. I said, man, I know I ain't gonna leave this show with no medals. You know, that was my thing. I want to be cool like all the youngsters now and get a medal, and I wanted to actually hang them up. And so, you know, here we go. I finally got 2 medals, and I feel like I'm reborn again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, Robert, it's been a pleasure just having you come on board and just sit down at the table and just have a talk with Roland. Even though we talk quite often, it's just something about this table that allows you to just let things flow. So again, we wish you the best of luck for October the 10th. We'll be there supporting you all the way, you know that. And then a week later, down in Orlando, we just want you to have fun. So again, we appreciate you. And again, folks, Table Talk with Roland. This is what it's all about. You know, bringing different people to the table just to share their experiences, and again, to help you along with your journey. So again, stay tuned. There's much more to go, to come, rather. Table Talk with Roland. Again, this is a portable table, so I can either come to you or you can come to me. Right now, we're sitting over here in Gaston, Alabama, talking, at the table. So again, we're willing to do what needs to be done. So until then, we'll see you. Stay safe.